Film Buffering.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Film Buffering. I'm one of your hosts, Colter Harkins. I'm here today with Todd Foley, Andrew Johnson, and a second Andrew. It is Andrew Atkinson, old family friend. Welcome to the show. We're glad to have you here, buddy.
No, thank you. It's awesome to be here. I'm glad Todd and you guys invited me.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. It's the end of horror month, and it's a chilling, thrilling terror. It's Muppet's Haunted House.
Haunted Mansion, but you were close.
Haunted Mansion House.
Welcome to the home of fear and fright, where not all guests survive the night. The lucky souls will live to tell, and those who don't will rot in.
What's the matter with you? You can't say that. This is a family show.
What are you doing?
Welcome, foolish Muppets, to tonight's very special Halloween challenge.
We just have to survive the night in this haunted mansion.
Everything here will seem familiar, but your eyes may deceive you.
Whoa.
I'm mysterious, Madame Pagoda.
Wait, stop.
Turn it down, I can't hear myself think.
Take 5, everybody.
Where are you going? No.
Happy Halloween.
This place is really haunted.
Fiends, omens, and bogeymen, lend me your fear.
It's showtime.
Usually I'm worried about dying up here, but looks like you beat me to it. Don't you have anything better to do than boo me?
Tough room. Ooh, indoor lightning. I'm not a shrimp. Close enough.
Shaka waka!
If by sunrise you fail this endeavor, then you must remain here forever.
I'm out of here. How did you... I could just eat you alive.
That's sweet, right?
Muppet's Haunted Mansion, streaming exclusively on Disney+.
All right. Probably the scariest movie you guys have reviewed in a while.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All right, Todd, tell us about this movie, Haunted Mansion, or so I'm told it's called.
Yep, it's called Muppet's Haunted Mansion. For synopsis, on Halloween night, Gonzo is challenged to spend one night in the Haunted Mansion. The Haunted Mansion game from Disney. Cast, obviously a lot of Muppets. We have Will Arnett, Taraji P. Henson, Chris, Yvette Nicole Brown, and there are a lot of cameos in this too. We could go for a while, but I'm sure we'll discuss that.
Yes, indeed. Don't give away all of the surprises. We always do.
What a twist!
All right. Andrew, welcome to the show. What is your background? How do you feel about the Muppets? Tell us about this movie.
Well, all right. So my background with the Muppets, it's funny, Todd and I were just discussing this. I've watched, Muppets from Outer Space, Muppet Treasure Island, the Christmas Carol one. All those are great. I did not realize that this was like a short made-for-TV type movie. So, like, Todd told me earlier, he's like, hey, you want to do this thing now? I was like, sure, why not? And I don't have Disney Plus, so he gave me his login, blah, blah, blah. And I get on there, I'm like, Todd, it's only 52 minutes. What the heck? And so I was like, I was expecting like a feature-length film, similar to like Muppet Christmas Carol or whatever it's called. And
yeah.
This one was I thought it was pretty terrible. I was texting Todd like in the middle of the movie. I'm like, Todd, this is just, I think I said, this is fairly a terrible movie, just garbage.
Sauerkraut? Double pork. It's the worst. The worst.
I'm pretty sure the funniest line in the whole movie was like within the first few minutes where Pepe's like got his phone out and he's doing the text messaging there in the limo before they go into the house. And it's like, career suicide for Will Arnett. I don't know what that guy's doing.
I think he's making kids movies because he's got kids now.
Oh, is that what happens?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I thought it was going to be great. It wasn't that funny. It wasn't that good musically speaking. So I don't know. I was pretty disappointed.
Run for your lives! This show is murder!
Fair enough. It's a good way to kick it off. All right, Andrew, tell us, what are your thoughts on this movie?
I completely agree. Like, the Muppets have such a place in my heart. Like, every year I still watch A Muppet's Christmas Carol at Christmas time. I still love it. And I don't know, like, the bar is set pretty high for any Muppets project that this just didn't deliver. Like Andrew was saying, like, it just wasn't that funny. The cameos were, I don't know, not that great, surprisingly. And oddly, like, it being a shorter length, I know I always complain about movies being too long. This is the first time where I was just like, this could have definitely been a longer movie. And I really just wish it was, because, like, the whole plot and everything and like getting into the story of why they're at the mansion and, he has to overcome his fears and all that. It just felt really weak. And it just felt very like a contrived way to just like quickly, make a Muppets movie. Not that great. I'm bummed.
Hey.
Have we ever said that this show is for the birds? Yes, and we'll keep saying it till it gets a laugh.
Todd, what are your thoughts?
I agree. Like, the whole Muppet movie lore is like pretty rich, but like, you guys have clearly not watched enough Muppet TV specials to kind of know what you should have been expecting.
Is it pretty hit or miss with the Muppets?
Yeah, like the Muppet. Just first thing that comes to mind is Muppet Wizard of Oz, which is just an abomination. And then I remember there was the John Denver and the Muppets, A Christmas Together. Which is, I mean, my family enjoys because they're John Denver fans, but it's not necessarily the best work they ever did. Yeah, it was. I mean, it had a fun tone to it. I liked what Will Arnett was doing at the beginning. It just seemed like he was having fun with it, and then it just went nowhere.
Yeah.
Also, it featured my favorite Muppet, Gonzo, and my least favorite Muppet, Pepe. Pepe.
That was such a weird casting decision. I don't know. But, like,
Pepe needed more screen time.
Yeah, he's such a not primary character in the Muppets that I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
And why are we leading into like an obviously weirdly offensive character at a time like this? It's like, you're going to choose to like, oh no, we're going to go against it and just feature one of our most racist characters.
This isn't a pickup joint. Oh yeah? Tell that to Cheryl. Yeah, she asked me for my email address. Don Juan Pron, and I am Pepe.com. Even my email address is filled with passions.
Nice.
But he's not only racist; he's also like very aroused.
I should say.
At every given moment.
Yeah, that whole part. Well, I don't know how you guys do this, but that whole part, like when he's like about to get married to the gal, and they're like, wasn't there? It was just a really awkward scene, like right before the wedding ceremony. Like this dude's like Pepe's like a freaking shrimp.
I am not a shrimp. I'm a king prawn.
They're trying to be like romantic, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, they're like, and they're trying to kind of play off the fact that she's marrying a king prawn by having her been married to a penguin. Like, what?
Yeah, Colter, what did you think of it before we get too far along?
No, I totally agree with you guys. I think it's like Disney going even further into, we're just going to write all of our movies now based on our theme parks.
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean. The Curse. Yeah.
Like
100%.
And they do that occasionally. They actually write a movie script, and then sometimes for like a Pirates of the Caribbean, or then they just repeat a movie script for Jungle Cruise, and then they do this when they're like, we're just going to actually act out the ride that you go. It just was like, okay, so like who thought that this was a good idea to not even write some semblance of a plot around it? It was literally just like you were doing the ride, but with like other people inside of it. I don't know. It just did not make any sense plot wise.
You guys aren't trying hard enough?
The two elder guys were even like, there were multiple characters at different points. Like they looked like they were in like a little ride car thing.
Yeah. They even made fun of it that far. It was that tongue in cheek. Yeah, when they had the ride breakdown, they had it inside of the movie. Like, it was like, are we really going that far? Which I appreciate that the Muppets have always kind of pushed the boundaries of like the fourth wall in a lot of their jokes.
Yeah.
But this was like, okay, but you couldn't even like take an extra half hour to write a plot for this 50-minute movie of some kind.
Everything is terrible.
Yeah.
If you can like summarize the entire plot and he faces his fears, and that's it. It's not like they even like went into other rooms that he like tried other different things. It just didn't go anywhere.
They really
Pepe's side plot didn't go anywhere. No portion of the plot went anywhere.
It seemed like one of those things that they were just trying to set up bits, which is a bummer because usually, I mean, Todd has apparently seen all the Muppets projects, including the failures, but like typically they do have a good storyline and then they kind of sugarcoat it with good, bits and stuff like that. But this just really felt like, all right, this is a bit, this is a bit, this is a bit. We'll kind of make them flow together, however. And then the breaking of the fourth wall, I love the Muppets for doing that. Like, it's like a staple of the Muppets, but
You need to escape, guys, tonight. But how? Well, the weakest point in the gulag is over there by the fourth wall.
Okay, we're gonna have to break the fourth wall.
I don't think this is gonna work, guys.
I'm afraid you're right.
you can't, it's not funny just because you do it. You still have to do it in a funny way. And when they did it, I just didn't think it was good. It just felt like they're like, we're breaking the fourth wall. This should be funny, but it.
Yeah, it wasn't plot driven in any way. It was just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah. I always like that in movies. I think that is usually pretty funny, but yeah, this case it didn't really work that well.
Well, I was just listening to just to dovetail off that. I was listening to a book about Mike Nichols, the director, and he was talking about working on The Odd Couple, and when Walter Matthau would do a bit that would just like literally just break the fourth wall for no reason. He's like, it takes you 10 minutes to get the audience back after that. And that just felt like so much of that when you have such little content, you're never even hooked in, that the more you just break the wall or just set up another joke, you're not actually ever allowing the audience to become a part of what's going on. You're not rooting for Gonzo even. Like there's nothing for you to care about him because he's never been a fearful character that I can remember.
That's scary stuff. Hey, should we be worried about the kids in the audience?
No, it's all right. This is culture.
I was just thinking, like, maybe, I mean, obviously we're not exactly the target audience here. I wonder if, like, you know, a bunch of 5 and 8 year olds like really like this movie and enjoy all the other like Muppet things, you know.
It felt very like there were colors and things happening. Like I could see a kid enjoying that.
Probably.
We're overanalyzing it. We're the opposite of the target audience.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I feel like this is a thing that like Pixar, Disney prides themselves in, is writing a good story. Obviously, they take a long time to develop their projects, but this felt like they were just like, we need to do a ride off of like a Hollywood special. We can do Haunted Mansion, and then we need to do something with the Muppets because we own them now. So let's just shoehorn it all together and make it work.
Didn't they already make a Haunted Mansion movie with like Eddie Murphy?
With Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Which was great.
I never even saw it. Was it any good?
No.
Maybe if we had watched that one, we could have got what they were spoofing. But we were talking about cameos a little bit earlier, and I think that was another one where it just like none of them were like surprising or funny in a way that was like, or like, again, it was nothing that brought me into it. It was just like, hey, they're available on the lot today. Can we bring them in? It's like there were 3 people from last season's Dancing with the Stars on it. I was like, were they just there that day?
I mean, I kind of think probably. I mean, yeah, it was like, well, Carlton was there. Pat Sajak was
Pat
there.
Sajak, that was a great one. That was the only one that I actually was excited about.
Danny Trejo.
Yeah, Trejo. I was gonna say that's the only one I was excited about because he's in everything, and of course he's in
Stamos.
He's in jail.
Hey, Trio's in jail.
Yeah.
Why?
In the movie, he's in jail.
I thought you meant in real life.
Well, I think Danny Trejo was actually in jail, like in his real life, for a while.
Yeah, like a bunch of times, yeah.
Yeah. So now he's not, but now he's in the movie. In his Muppet cameo, he's also in jail.
Which might have been the most like well executed like nudge nudge joke in the whole thing. Like, yeah, you get it, adults. Danny Trejo was in jail.
Yeah. The Stamos
that one was
bad.
for us.
Yeah, the Stamos one was
pretty bad.
Weak. And I love me some John Stamos, and I would rather watch one of his Greek yogurt commercials than watch this movie again. To go back to what Andrew Atkinson brought up earlier is the idea of this being geared toward kids. It felt like there was just like there were so many jokes that they were trying to throw in there for adults that it felt like it was like neither here nor there. Like a lot of the pop culture jokes felt more geared toward teenagers or adults, but not kids. I don't know. It didn't feel like it had any actual real like kid friendly moments.
Yeah, I think at the heart of the Muppets, like they do like a lot of, pop culture references, but I always thought that the Muppets were funny just because of them being funny, like good writing and stuff like that. Not necessarily like pandering with references or anything like that, which this definitely, I don't know, had its moments of.
Yeah, there wasn't even like a lot of like slapstick style humor or anything. It felt like they just kind of really got away from that, which feels like an interesting choice.
Also, it had like one of my big pet peeves in any kind of movie in general, but especially kids movies, is like if you're going to do musical numbers, you should commit one way or another. Like I really don't like when movies have just like a song or a couple songs. Like have it be a musical or don't have it be a musical. And specifically with this one, because the music in this one was really bad and didn't need to be there at all.
It did not contribute at all to the story, whatever story was in there. And there was like no big like musical number, but I think in the like when you're getting on there to watch it, I think it says, is it like musical part of the title? So like Andrew, I think you're right, because was there like 3 songs? And I mean, I know it's only 50 minutes long, but there were 3 very forgettable songs, and they just, I think you're right.
And
Just
then one song in the credits that they're all just dancing to.
Right.
They didn't write.
Which, was not an original song.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to ask either of you, what was your favorite song from that movie? Could you even tell me?
Dancing in the Moonlight, obviously.
Could you tell me a title or even what a song was about? For the most, I mean, no, it was.
No, there's the one in the beginning with the dude like with his dog, who was like at the gravesite, and he was like, I don't even know what that song was about. It was weird.
Trying to see if I had any other good notes on this thing.
Well, was there anything that anybody really like enjoyed about the movie?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, at the beginning, I was like, okay, it's funny, it's Muppets. I kind of appreciate like this throwback to this, like, because I haven't watched a Muppets movie in a long time. I think actually probably the Muppet Wizard of Oz was probably the last one that I watched.
It's horrible, dude. And
it was so bad. But they made a reference to the birds and Passion of the Christ in one scene, and that made me laugh very hard. When the bird lands on the Scarecrow's shoulder and talks about pecking his eyes out, I was like, "Whoa, that got really dark."
So wait, was the Wizard of Oz one, was that worse than this one? Or was
it was because they were working off of an actual story and a plot. They were working off of Wizard of Oz. I think that's what works well with the Muppets when they do like a Treasure Island or Christmas Carol or any of those. when they do something that's familiar and then do their own version of it, I think that works. But this, they just didn't have a plot to follow. It's just set pieces.
And Muppet Wizard of Oz was not good. Just
it was not.
Let me reiterate that.
That's enough of that. Let's wrap this thing up. We got better things to do with our time than to continue to bash the Muppets.
I've always hated puppets.
Final thoughts. I mean,
I honestly don't.
What are your final thoughts? All right, let's start with Todd.
I mean, we already been through it. There was no plot. There were terrible songs, and I mean, Pepe should just be banned from the Muppets, not because he's gross, but he is gross, and he's not a good Muppet.
All right, how many thumbs out of 10?
I'm going to give this. Well, it's not the Muppet Wizard of Oz, so I'm giving it 2 thumbs out of 10.
I'm dying. All right, Andrew Atkinson, what are your final thoughts? How many thumbs out of 10 are you giving this movie?
All right. Well, my final thoughts are: it's possible that I had too high of expectations going into this thing, but I was very disappointed. This thing is absolute trash. And, I was expecting something along the lines of a Muppet Christmas Carol. So maybe that's on me, but it was very disappointing. Like I said, I give it like 1.5 out of 10.
Hey, we're going with some low thumbs tonight. Andrew Johnson, what are your final thoughts? How many thumbs out of 10?
I'm bummed about it. There was nothing happened in this movie, and like Andrew said, I had high expectations because it's the Muppets, but I'm kind of just disappointed that Disney, it feels like they're just churning stuff out because they know that we're going to watch it. I mean, we all watched it. So do better, Muppets and Disney, and I'll give it 2 thumbs.
Yeah, I can't think of a really positive thing to say about this. I think that, it was like a poorly written episode of a sitcom, but with less stakes and with all of the opportunity to have us feel nostalgic for something, but it didn't bring up anything nostalgic wise of those feelings or reminiscing about. It made me want to do the actual ride even less. That's how bad of a movie it was. So I agree. I'm going to give this, I'll give it 2 thumbs out of 10. It wasn't unwatchable, but there was no redeeming quality to it. All right. That wraps us up for all of horror month. So now it's time for something different. Tune in next week for Dune.
There's something happening to me. There's something awakening in my mind. I can't control it.
What did you see?
There's a crusade coming.
Do you often dream things that happen just as you dreamed them?
Yes.
The test is simple. Remove your hand from the box, and you die.
What's in the box?
Pain. You inherit too much power. You have proven you can rule yourself. Now you must learn to rule others. Something none of your ancestors learned.
My father rules an entire planet.
He's losing it.
He's getting a richer one.
He'll lose that one too. Arrakis is a death trap.
I'll kill him. This is an extermination. They're picking my family off one by one.
Let's fight like demons.
An animal caught in a trap will gnaw off its own leg to escape. What will you do?
I know you.
day, the legend will be born. All of civilization depends on it.
The future. I can see it. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer.
My Lord Duke.
Where the fear is gone, only I will remain.
Go, go, go!
Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you're having an awesome week. Hope you enjoy your Halloween. And hopefully we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Bye. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks for being on, man.
It was a blast.
Well, it was no meeting there last night.
Oh! Well, what do you call this, then?
Mom! Dad! It's evil! Don't touch it!
Film buff.
Erring.